Hello, everybody, and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael, and today we are looking at a beautiful, beautiful park created by Ted07386, or as you might know him on YouTube as Coaster Creations. And this is the third installment in his Oaken Park kind of chain, and it says, "Welcome to Oaken Thrills, the biggest and best themed installment of the Oaken franchise. Explore three themed areas: the Pirate Port, Western Town, and the Futuristic Paradise. Aether." I hope I pronounced that right. This park is my first attempt at actually theming a park instead of just going down the generic scenery and realism route. The B&M Dive and SNSL Loco were made with the 4-meter method. However, I used the autocomplete method in many sections to give me some more piece count. Side note, this park is already at the maximum percentage even with the glitch. Workshop credits: Minions were by Tommy Leaves 23, Disabled Parking by Iron Maddie, Gift Shop Items Tommy Leaves 23, Push Chairs by me, The Playground by Jan BK 1608, Kitchen Stove by Coaster King 70, and Forklift by I Drum Bud. So I am really excited to get started looking at this park because I just love what Coaster Creations is able to do, and with this being his first time at truly theming, I'm really interested to see how this turns out. So let's get started. We are down here at the guest entrance to the park, or at least where the cars would be driving. And as you can see here, really cool shout out to Iron Maddie and I, as Oaken Hills and Oaken Park are two of his other creations. I believe Oaken Park, I get those two confused. I think that's the one that Jasmine and I spotlighted, so I'll put the link to that below. And we got Wild Winds, which was my most recent park, and Eden Gardens as Maddie's first park. And I love just a little detail here of even separating these two with the columns. Like, I think that's a really, really cool touch, because you see that when you're in underground tunnels a lot, where it's not like just barricade off to the other side. So that is really cool. And then you even got the lights. So if we look at this at nighttime, you got like the little lights for what would be the road. So that's a really, really cool touch. I think that's really amazing. And another thing that I like here is putting these posts here, because it kind of creates what would be like a roadblock, right? To make sure that the cars don't go to the other side and so forth. But right away, I mean, you could just see the nice foliage, and it's a good use of doing the trees here, where you spread it out. You didn't make it overly done. You created some little terrain work and elevation change. And so this is something I need to learn from and work on, like little things like this. Like, that is really, really well done, and placing different types of trees as well in different height levels. A lot of times with forest, you do see them all bunched up, but then you also see areas where it's kind of sparse like this. So I think it's good to have both. So we got Oaken Thrills, and right here to the right, is this a gate to part of the parking? So it looks like metered parking. You pay for parking at the meter there, potentially. Oh, you know what? I'm going on the wrong side. I'm thinking of it being an American park. Yeah, so love this little entrance building. You got the tickets. Just really, really well done. And I like how you change the columns to make them diagonal like that. I think it looks really, really cool, because then you can kind of see it partially on the inside as well. And I love this chest, this storage locker. I made these before, but what I love about this is it kind of shines a little bit more. So instead of using the arch shapes, this is a colorable panel. So I think that's a really, really cool touch. So I absolutely, absolutely love it. I'm going to steal that idea as well. And then you got the sign saying you can't go this way, you got to exit this way. So really, really cool touch. Always does a great job there. And the custom fencing kind of bordering the entire park is really nice as well. And then you've got this is a theme you'll see. You'll see this Gozer Temple piece going along the entire way. Like, ideally, if we didn't have a counter, it'd be cool to see a little curb there. But obviously that would take up a lot of pieces towards the counter. But right away you can see that dive coaster. Ooh, and you got a little backstage here. Yeah, so there are some parts in this park that I think not as much detail was put in the sense that we ran out of counter space. But like, look at this. You got a parking space over here. And from his previous park, got those parking meters, which I then used in 3 towers. And then same thing this way. So I love that the entire space is bordered by the fences, because that's what you realistically see. So this is really, really cool. Once again, you've got the elevation change. You put some trees up there. So we head this way. And so this is at 100% on the PS5, and I believe it's using the glitch too, if I read the intro correctly. So now we head this way, and we see where the buses are parked at, so we got some handicap parking. So that's interesting. In the UK, the handicap spot is yellow, because here in the States, for the most part, it's designated by blue and white. And what pieces are that? Because those look... Oh, that's really cool. So instead of using just the pole, using those pillar pieces for that. I think that's a good touch. And then you've changed the color of the buses, which is nice, to make them each look like they're coming from a different area. And then we've got the underground, of course, where everybody comes out of the underground with the custom turnstiles. Good job. And you got that little gate for the wheelchair or disabled access. Really, really good job. This underground piece, do they have that in the game, or is that... Oh, you had to use target pieces. Okay, hold on. So we gotta see how this is made. I forgot that. Won't let me do it with the counter. So 55 total objects to create the underground sign. That's really cool. I don't know if you put that in the workshop or if you got off the workshop, but I'd love to know, because that is awesome. So we got a buggy hire, so you can hire the buggy. And this looks amazing. 192 pieces. Okay, that's not awful. So that looks really, really cool. Really amazing job. And the issue is, sometimes when you're over the limit, is we can't really break this apart, because if you try to just move an individual piece, it won't allow you to. So we won't be able to do that aspect of it. But then a little bit different fencing here, and then you've got where the buses, you pick up buggies and stuff. So that is a really, really cool touch. And once we head into the park, we are going to look in flip cam mode a little bit. But first, we're going over here to the Imagination Hotel. That name sounds like it'd be something at a Disney park. But look at these windows. I mean, just the covering right here is just awesome. That is amazing. And then you've got the extra buggies here. Okay, so here's my suggestion. I think if you were to delete one of these 2 buggies, now obviously this would have been before you did the counter, and then delete 2 of these back here, that'd give you roughly 600 pieces. You would then have enough to be able to border all of these kind of paths that you made with some custom curbs, or even just using those in-game curbs to kind of create that barrier. But I mean, look at this hotel. This is outstanding. And I don't think the guests can walk over here. I could be wrong though, but oh, actually, looks like they can. Let's see. Okay, there is a path to it. Okay. So that is good. So you did create a path to the hotel. I feel like the guests don't really use the hotel much in this game, which is quite annoying, to be honest. But we head this way, and this is beautiful. I mean, just the detail is really well done. I love those wooden posts. And then you got the same thing for all the rooms. I mean, this feels like something out of Animal Kingdom. Like, this is really, really cool. Oh, and then you even got the detail on the roof, which is nice. Oh, I like this. You've got like a little, would be like electrical door or a maintenance door up there. Oh, and using those pieces for part of it. That's a nice touch. And then those air box. So a lot of just really good detail up here on the roof. Same thing up here. And you got the air vents there. Really cool touch. And here is how you get to the roof. That way. So everything has been thought out, which is just, you know, music to my ears, and just adds that other level of immersion or of immersion. Yeah, you know what I mean, into the park. So really amazing job. So if we come back this way and look at this elevated view, and then here we have the what would be the maintenance areas of the park. So there we go, nice roofing. And then we've got a water filtration system and another kind of maintenance area over here. So that's a cool touch, and I know, knowing the detail you like to do, I know you would probably love to do even more back here, you know, with all this space, but obviously with the limit, I feel like with how you build, you and NH99 are probably hindered the most by the limit, just with the amount of detail that y'all use on your, whether it's your creations or your coasters, just really, really insane and impressive. So let's go ahead and actually head into the park, shall we? So enough of looking around the outside and the exterior, which we'll do an overview and look at night in a little bit too. So really, really large plaza here, which I love, and you've got the water features on each side. And right there you can see a coaster right there. I can't really tell what type of coaster that is from this view, but then you got the dive coaster. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe these entrances are the same as your previous Oaken Park. So really cool, good turnstiles. And right away when you enter, there's a little space back here for the maintenance workers to get to, I believe. Yeah, so a little bit of a backstage, which once again, I love seeing everybody, when people do this, that level of realism. Love to see it. Ooh, nice swinging ship. And I know you said that you, oh nice, you use the push chairs right there, so that's a really cool kind of spot. And here's the little table where you pay for it and rent the push chairs, so that's nice. And yes, I do say push chairs now instead of strollers because that just sounds cool, if I'm being honest. But the swinging ship, and so I know you said you're trying to go more for theming in this park, and that's one that I wish you could take flat rides and kind of switch out themes with them. But down here we've got looks like a store, and I think you said these were by Tommy Leeds 23. We got a little staff door here. Only issue with that is all these people are like taller than that staff door. But yeah, some of the doors in this game are a little bit small for some reason. So I guess the green and red is showing which lane's open and which one's not. Oh, that's a cool touch right there. I love the different elevation heights of the ceiling. And then using those box lights like that to make it look like recessed lighting is really, really nice. And then we've got what would be like beach balls or basketballs. I don't know why I said beach balls. It'd most likely be basketballs. Once again, these awesome roofs right here. Just amazing, amazing. Absolutely love it. And I love having this sundials. I think it gives such a good view. As this is just really, really cool. And without giving away too much, in the park Jasmine I've started working on recently, we've used this as kind of a focal point as you enter the park. So I just think that's really cool, and it's just called Swing. Why not, right? So which way to go? Let's go this way to Aether. I'm so bad at pronouncing stuff. Ooh, we got a little design here too on the floor, which I like. And it looks like this whole pattern. So we'll definitely get an aerial footage of this stuff in a little bit. But just to kind of, I always love the zoomed in mode on this game, just to kind of see the different stuff. Like that looks like an amazing custom supported job over there, like so unique. And is that a Mauer spinning or a Looney Tunes coaster? I don't know. Then you got the theming with the pirate ships and stuff right there. So just really, really detailed, as you can see. We've got the chairlift, which is nice. And then if we head this way, we've got eats. So this would be like your takeaway food, like your carry out. And then you come in here, easy eats, nice. And you come and order your food and kind of sit down. So more of a restaurant style, which is nice. Or maybe it's more like buffet style. Yeah, this is really, really cool. Well done. Once again, carrying over that fencing. Looks amazing. And then there you took similar to this, but you changed up kind of the style and the type of fencing, which is really cool. So that's a good open station for that chairlift. And I love this. This is so unique. So different. Oh, you got water sprouting up through it. Oh, that's just awesome. That is amazing. And you know, this is one thing, even though you got the supports here, you technically don't have to cover those up, because one thing that's amazing about going to Carowinds and seeing Fury 325 is the fact that it's like, there's just, like, every single support basically on the coaster you could go up to and just hug if you wanted to. Like, I literally walked on the grass, walked up to this fencing to get a really close-up view of the coaster flying by. Let's get in the splash zone. Nice. And Coaster Creations does all of his coasters in the 4-meter method, so it's just extreme detail. Yeah, I mean, I love just kind of the detail there with that entrance sign. It just looks amazing. So we got a little bit of elevation change. Okay, we got a seating area here. Like, that's an awesome viewpoint to see that coaster. Woo! Awesome. And this looks like shareholders wall. Okay. Web Gaming, NH99, Coaster Creation TV, Beneath, Insomniac, Albrus, Jan BK, Chip. And on the other side, Jasmine and I, Plipcam, Nerdchacho, Silverette, Misty's. Yeah, this dude, if you haven't seen his channel, go check it out, man. Just the level of detailing on coasters and the video footage and stuff is just, I mean, editing is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And actually, you know what? If I remember, I'm gonna link his channel in my description below, because it's just does a really good job. Iron Matty and Tommy CM. Who are those two guys? They sound a little strange to me. I mean, Iron Matty, what kind of name is that? But no, it's a great shout out from everybody, I can't speak. Great shout out there from Coaster Creation, and I mean, just the viewpoint that you get all around this coaster is awesome. And the fencing and everything's protected, so this is just called drop. Or is that for the drop tower? No, the drop tower is right here. Okay. Yeah, so after this, we're probably going to hop out of Plipcam mode and just look at it normally so we can kind of zoom up when we need to. But really, really good level of detail in this area. So we got show times for that stage, which is nice. And then looks like this would be a little food area. Oh, it's a gift shop. Okay. So that's nice. So it looks like this area does need food, though, potentially, along with a restroom. So let's go ahead and walk up to the station of drop, which, oh my gosh, that looks awesome. That looks so unique. And great view, too, of the coaster coming down the initial piece of track out of the station. And what I like is you kept this station small. So everything's going to kind of sit there on the brake run instead of sitting in the station. So I think that's a really cool touch. So if we look here at these stats, as we head on the coaster, let's ride track view, front bumper view. But as we look at the stats, everything's good. G-forces look great. 2 inversions, so enjoy the coaster. As we look at this area from aerial view, just really, really well done, really well laid out, as you've got multiple kind of entertainment spots here. And I mean, I love this kind of zero G roll. It kind of looks like the one that's on the, or similar to the one that's on the new one at Fiesta, Texas, where instead of it continuing in the same direction, it's almost like a 270-degree zero G roll, if that makes sense. Really, really cool job. Really well done. And then, of course, transfer track. Just look at the detail here, as here's where the transfer track is at. You've got your garage doors, which is just using a screen, and all the wires underneath it. You've got even some grass kind of growing up there. So I know that's one thing Iron Matty's talked about in one of his older tutorial videos, which was really good about kind of that aspect of it. And you got your protective sign there saying don't go on the fence. Ooh, that's actually a great idea. That's a great idea to have that as just a protection sign. Yeah, and then we got a kind of walkway for the employees to get up there and access for a vehicle. So that is really, really well done. And now, if we head out of this area, which once again, I love that right there. So this is what I was talking about earlier when I think probably running out of counter. Like, in terms of kind of creating some kind of little custom curbing there. But obviously when there's the counter space that we have, it's sometimes we have to kind of make sacrifices here and there. And, kind of little fencing behind that or something. But I love this little pergola right here. That is really, really cool. And then we've got a little carousel. So we got a lot of flat rides in this spot. There looks like one over there as well. And then we've got the chairlift. I forget the technical. Are these the gondolas? I actually kind of like how it goes down a little bit first. It's kind of unique, almost like it has a little drop. So I think that's pretty cool. So we got a little bathroom there. Then we head this way, and we've got this nice custom bridge. And it's actually using the bridge pieces, so that's not a ton of actual pieces that's being used, in the sense that what I think he probably did was create one section and then just copy it over. But that is a really, really cool bridge, and I love it. I think it's one of the most unique bridges I've seen for it being kind of just a smaller pedestrian bridge. Really, really cool. And then we've got this little spot here, which would have been perfect for the little da 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 da. So I think this maybe something where you kind of had this spot thinking maybe you'd be able to build something else back here, but then kind of ultimately ran out of counter space. That'd be my guess as to this kind of long way. And I like how the paths aren't just completely flat, and they kind of adjusted to the terrain. Ooh, is that a slingshot or the bungee jump? I think that'd be a bungee jump or something. That's really cool. Really good job. So then here you'd have the photos for your bungee jump and so forth. So that is a cool touch, although they are always ridiculously expensive for reasons that I don't know why. And so, yeah, that I forgot to say that, obviously, I think you're able to tell that area where the dive coaster is, that's kind of the futuristic area of the park, which obviously makes sense, right? So let me kind of get an idea of where we're at. Okay. Okay, cool. So we'll have to come back this way. So now you got another flat ride there, which is a little bit elevated, which is nice. And we've got a new kind of set of fencing here. And then using wall piece as actual fencing, which I think is a good touch. Oh, look at this building. This is really nice. A makeshift sheriff station. Really, really cool. So those would be photos. And we got a little backstage. photos for the Impulse coaster, it looks like. Maybe? Yeah, that's the exit of the Impulse coaster. Okay. And then we got another little flat ride. You got another flat ride up there. So this area is full of flat rides. Oh, and we got the play set, which I think was made by Jan. I think that's it. And then we've got a little tree fort kind of play area up here, which is just awesome. Just absolutely amazing. So you have to pay, and then you kind of go up there and play, and they've got a little zip line to the bottom. Oh, I love how you place the little rocks here. Like this is where you would walk afterwards. That is really, really cool touch. And then then you got an area to the backstage. Just really, really well done. Like this is beautiful. Oh, and then up here we also have $50 per throw, or €50, or not euro, 50 pound. That's a lot. Bathrooms again, very similar to the other ones, if not the exact same, which works. And then you got the Charo swing, which is nice. So let's go on Shadow now, shall we? So here is the entrance to Shadow. As you can see, the Impulse coaster there. Really cool station. Love the little planks in the window there. It just kind of adds a lot of detail. And really, really detailed station. Love this kind of representing fans. So this is Viper 1. Or never mind, it's called Shadow. That's right. So let's go front bumper. Actually, no, we'll ride seat view on this thing. Looking at the stats. Max speed 67 miles per hour. G-forces look good. Biggest drop 169 feet. So I'll talk to you after the coaster. So really, really well done with that Impulse coaster. I mean, we know they all kind of do the same, but I think the placement of it in the park, the viewpoints that you get, the speed of it, everything is really well done. And I always love the supports that they have. I think they're just really, really cool. And hold on, is that part of it or? Okay, yeah. So all that's the custom supports. So that's really, really cool. And I feel like this was one that, correct me if I'm wrong, but probably had not that much of a percent at the end, and since this only takes up 1 or 2% from the actual ride standpoint, was easier to place in the park. Another good one to do would be something similar to like Tigress, I think is what it's called, at one of the Busch Gardens. I forget the name of that coaster type. But now as we head back this way, I do like how you're using the different kind of paths. And then we got a nice flat ride here in the middle. Oh, look at that coaster back there. Those supports look awesome. Another flat ride. So, you know me, I love a lot of coasters. But I will willingly admit that this is actually a phenomenal ratio of flat rides to coasters. Like, for example, I just use like Kings Island as an example. Get onto Kings Island on their website, and there's like 12 to 13 coasters in the park, I think. Maybe a little bit more. And then you look at flat rides, and there's like 40. So usually there's anywhere from 3 to 4 times the amount of flat rides as coasters. Flat rides including water rides, dark rides, stuff like that. So that's usually that's a really, really good job there by having a lot of flat rides in this park. And so here we got a food place. I think they're probably the reason why it's so crowded is this is one of the few food shops actually in the park. But I love the custom signs there, which is just created by using the... So it's turning the cube at that direction, and it allows you to make it look like it would be like a line where something is being read there, or like, hey, here's how much pizza costs, here's the different types of pizzas and so forth. And then really cool view of the log flume right here. And it looks like, so we got a little backstage there, so let's head this way. Oh, this is a nice, cool covering. Very, very unique. So we got a little seating area. Did I miss a seating area before? So I know there's something that's hanging out in the water. Oh, I missed this back here. So this would be a nice little area to sit and have lunch. Even though there's no coasters or anything, it's just nice and peaceful. So really well done with the foliage here and kind of making it feel kind of nice and tranquil. And that music just really adds to it. So we got the pirate ship here. The broken down pirate ship, that in the middle you put the sand, which is nice, or terrain painted to look like sand. So here we got a nice view of the coaster. Wow, that looks really good. And now we've got Blackbeard's Escape. 45-minute wait. Man, you really feel like this is not even part of the same park right here with how you did the foliage and everything. So really, really well done. Love the protective kind of sailor flags there, protective covering to kind of cover you from the sun and so forth. So now let's go ahead and pause this and we will take a ride on the log flume. But I want to first look here at the station. Let's see, is this something you should ride at night? Ooh, that looks cool at night. Yeah, so really good job with the night lighting, as it's pretty subtle, like it's not overdone and it's not done in a way that you can see anything should or is specifically supposed to be ridden at night, but just really, really good job. So without further ado, let's hop on the log flume. Yeah, that is really, really a really good job with making this log flume ride. Because it's not an overly long log flume ride, but it is longer, or it's a little bit deceiving on how long it is, because it doesn't seem like it would actually have anything other than the drop, but does kind of have this little pre-ride section. And this really does feel adventure themed and like a jungle, so really, really good job. Really like that, especially making the station here. Like, even though the station's outdoors, like, it looks very tropical. and I think you've done a really good job with theming. So you're having me. I'm gonna need to step up and do some theming like this now. Is you and I are kind of the same like that before. We just kind of did coasters, and I mean we themed it, but not themed it around a particular theme, if that makes sense. And you know I think it's fine here that you don't have any kind of border there, because then you put a fencing up here. And one thing I do hope in Planet Coaster 2 is that the graphics get a little bit better in terms of having the grass not look two-dimensional. Like if you look at Planet Zoo, I mean, you can actually see the blades of grass, and it actually adds that extra level. And then like look at this here. Perfect timing. But that looks amazing. So I wonder, which I know a lot of this is custom supported. Okay, so that part's not. But that part is. That part is. I'm just trying to see what all is custom supported. So essentially the lift hill. So not the whole ride, but most of the ride is custom supported. So here's essentially what it looks like without the custom supports. And that is really, really, really cool, as it just adds a really cool kind of look to it. So that is awesome, and we'll come back to that in a second. But I want to. Oh, okay. So this is just the exit of the coaster. So you exit out, and it looks like this almost little pirate village. So good job using those like kind of cardboard, not cardboard, but you know, just one-sided images to make it look like it's a building. And then you've got the ride photos, and I like how you've got the wires kind of going up to it. But let's head to the front, because I think we enter to the ride over here. What's going on? Is that purposeful or is that accidental? That is hilarious. We got some more Midway games here, which is awesome. So you got target practice, you got basketball, you got climb the ladder, which is just ridiculous to begin with. Yeah, this to me is your best park so far. I know in terms of coaster wise, they're not the biggest coasters you made, but it's just everything surrounding this is so well done. So you got Blackbeard's Curse. So I love the lettering. I can't remember if I think that's Mavs Fam 4's lettering. So we got the swinging ship here called the Black Pearl. Good job making these custom buildings. Once again, you're only made it kind of using half the side, which I think is a really cool touch. So here is the station. Ooh, I like how it's got a long station. Even though the guests are never going to fill this up for this ride, it still is cool, and you got an emergency door if needed. So that's a cool touch. But now here is Blackbeard's Curse. Dun 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 dun. So this is a really nice cube. As you just go kind of around this water, and there's a lot of scenery to it, a lot of props. This is amazing. And then you've got this what's made to look like a ship, probably that's been lost at sea. So it's been a long time since I've seen that. Seen that Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And then, oh yeah, so that's the first part. And just, I love the whole custom support. It's just, I love everything about what you've done with this coaster in this area. And then here we go. So now we have the lights. We have our partially open station. So let's look at these stats, and we'll take a ride on the coaster. So not everything's all green, but that doesn't matter as much. G-forces look good. Biggest drop 70 feet. Max speed 44 miles per hour. So this is definitely more of an intermediate coaster. So let's go ahead and take a ride on Blackbeard's Curse. So here's the park in this area at night, and I think this part's definitely the most well lit. And some of the areas I can forgive for not being as well lit because you kind of run low on piece count. Lighting's one of the last things I always tend to do, so I kind of tend to not put as much effort into that. But you can tell that this part is, there has been an intentional effort to try to make this really lit up well, which looks awesome. Yeah, absolutely amazing. I love this coaster. Honestly, I think that's my favorite one in the park. Like, I think it's really well done. I think the inversions are nice. They're nice and slow. Like, that little kind of hang is awesome. Just awesome. And then the the custom supports here are awesome as well. The only thing is, I think with a lot of this, the support you used kind of is sticking through a little too much, like right there and right here, to where you can definitely see it. Even if you're not in front bumper mode, you can definitely clearly see it as you're coming to that. So that's maybe the only thing I would change, is trying to make that not as visible. But overall, love it. As we can see the rest of the park, like I said, at night. I mean, this area is not really lit up too much, but the areas that are lit is definitely using more of a light blue kind of to match that futuristic vibe. So let's head back to daytime. And so here's the park, and it's really amazing that you use this much space because there's only 3 coasters. So you've got this huge parking lot, and I'll go back to what Nerd Chacho said, which a lot of times the parking lot is essentially almost as big or at least half the size of a real theme park. You got to accommodate all the guests. So this is really well done with the parking lot, and then you've got the amazing hotel. This is one of the best hotels I've seen. Like, this is awesome. Just the level of detail. And you've got the area up here for maintenance workers and stuff to kind of go work on, but everything's hidden from below. Like, when you're down here, you can't see any of that. So that is a really, really good job. And then, of course, good job with the maintenance areas. Like, that's one area that you excel as well. And then I think you've really improved your theming on this one. Like, I love this pirate-themed area. You've kind of got almost like a Western-themed area there. You got the futuristic. I think it's really well done. And then the stations are awesome as well. And, oh, we didn't really see this from above. That's cool. Creating that star. So I think you definitely stepped out of your comfort zone in this one and did a really good job with it. So I'm really excited to see what you work on next. I know you said you don't have an idea of what that's going to be next, but I'm sure whatever it is, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As I said in the beginning, make sure to go check out Coaster Creations' YouTube channel, as he just has a lot of his individual coasters he's made on there, as he's done such a great job with them. Just really, I mean, in my opinion, the best coaster creator on console. Goes for realism, all the elements, all that sort of stuff. So really, really amazing job that he does. So make sure you go check that out, as the link is below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.